I lost my mother when I was very young. My only memory of her is telling me bedtime fairy tales about a mysterious village. The village of Doolin, where the living could meet the dead.
In the spirit of Halloween and the immediate launch of the PlayStation 4, I thought it would be nice to take a look at one of the very early PlayStation 3 releases, Folklore. Folklore starts out on the Celtic holiday of Samhain, on which the two main characters ends up in the Irish village of Doolin. Ellen has come to the village looking for her mother, whom she has been searching for since she was 5, and Keats is a reporter for a paranormal magazine who's been lured to town because of a mysterious anonymous phone call.
And explained to us by modern science. You may find it strange for me, a reporter for an occult magazine, to say this.
As it turns out, the living can visit the dead in the netherworld on the night of Samhain. And both Ellen and Keats quickly find themselves on either side of a power struggle in the netherworld by night, while exploring the mysterious history of the inhabitants of Doolin by day. When exploring Doolin, Folklore plays like an adventure game as you walk around the village and talk to people, but in the netherworld it plays like an action game. See, both Ellen and Keats have the power to absorb the IDs of foes, which are the monsters roaming the netherworld. They then utilize these IDs as their attacks, with Keats fighting up close and personal, and Ellen summoning hers to fight for her, kinda like spooky Pokemon, or Spookymon if you will. As you defeat and collect these Spookymon and get deeper into the game, you start coming up against enemies who are resistant to certain types of attacks. Now here's where you come across picture book pages, which are actually a pretty neat hint system that tells you what Spookymon works against which enemies. Having the right kind is especially key in the large boss battles, where you'll wanna attack with the right one depending on which state the boss is in. Now switching back and forth on the fly is done by pressing the L2 button, so it's no biggie if you suddenly find that your attacks are being blocked. That it's an early PlayStation 3 game can also be felt in the way it incorporates 6-axis, by having you flick the controller around to absorb IDs. Now let's talk presentation. Despite being such an early PlayStation 3 release, it looks absolutely fabulous. Not because it's firing on all cylinders from a technical standpoint, but more because of the diverse and beautiful art direction. Doolin's grey and drab, but still got an air of mystery about it in the daytime, while the various areas of the netherworld has their own distinct set of enemies and themes. Music's nice, but not all that varied, and can get a bit much, especially if you spend time grinding out enemies to level up the Spookymon for both Ellen and Keats. Between chapters you can choose which character to play, which is nice in the way it offers a different perspective, but have you playing through the same levels. Because of this, playing the same chapter for Ellen and Keats back to back as I did for the purpose of recording this video, is not a way I would recommend you playing Folklore, as it quickly makes a great game feel repetitive. Overall, if you're looking for a Halloween themed game about collecting Spookymon, Folklore is pretty much the game to get. And it's also extremely affordable by now, so check it out and have a happy Halloween.